And then we'll do this. Okay. And then maybe we should go back here. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, greetings. Welcome to another edition of the Wound Dress Journey. Okay, so today I kind of decided I wasn't going to overly stress about being prepared on time, if you could say what I mean. I wanted to be on time, but the idea of starting on time without being perfectly prepared. Um, and there's a couple of reasons for that. So uh, first of all, we're well. There's lots to say. First of all, we were kind of busy, right? Um, and So not only do we harvest for delivery tomorrow, but there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of we had a really big rain um, 2 or 3 days ago. I can't exactly remember, and it was a lot of rain in a short period of time. And we've been having rain too, so we've been having rains too. And of course, I can't figure out how to do this. So we've been having rain too. So it's saturated. The soil is fairly saturated, right? At least for such a big rain to come, then it's going to be saturated. Um, and what happens is, so I've been trying to do more mowing. Okay, so mowing whatever grass there is around. A few years ago, I was trying to make some swales. Okay, swales are like narrow ditches. So I was trying to make some swales. Um, because we do have like an issue with with drainage here. It's fairly low and flat, so it's not like water can run off easily, and the texture of the soil is such that it has good water retention, sometimes too good. So that's what we're trying to manage with the swales, for instance. So they'll take a little bit of the overflow. So where I'm trying to mow now, and the other thing that I've been trying to do over the past few years, and this year was really good at it, was trying to make a grass pathway in between, a size that I can sort of drive the tractor through, and then just mow like that. So the the grassy pathway is now a place where we can walk without getting stuck in mud. That's one thing. Um, in my mind, I'm feeling that, especially when mowed, it will also help sort of the water move through to a place where it's maybe a little bit happier. Um, I'm trying to direct the water a little bit when it's in an overflow situation. I'm trying to direct the water. Um, I guess you could say away from the things that I don't wish to be waterlogged. So that's the challenge at the moment. There's a few different ways that we can try to address this, and that's kind of what we're looking at now. So that's part of the busyness, and it's part of the inspiration also for today. So this picture, if I could figure out how to use the other program, which I can, I'm probably going to try to do that in a little bit. But this picture here, the one that says "Life is like an orchestra," wherein some like to orchestrate. Um, This picture is of a puddle in the field where there's lots of water. It's this point it was really clear water, just sort of freshly rained. And so my daughter took this picture happily. Um, and I mean, it looks to me when I first saw it, it looks like it could be not necessarily from space, but from high up in the sky, looking down on a coastline, for instance. You know what I mean? It's that kind of interesting sort of photo. So so she's been trying to take pictures of things that can accompany her idea is that we should do like a lyric video with some of the songs that I have recorded elsewhere. So on my Bandcamp page, so her idea is that we do lyric videos, right? You know, uh, and so the images, you know, that she's thinking about putting into the lyric video are sort of you know, farm related, but at some on some level there has to be some thematic connection with the song, of course, with the lyrics. So we went out. So we have a list. We have a list of all of the potential pieces, and you know she knows them all because I practice them every day, almost every day in that sense, and listen and listen and listen and listen. So so she knows them all, and so then with together with the list, now we go outside with the camera, with the phone, just with the phone, and take some pictures that she finds interesting to her eye, which I think is really cool. So that now put me on a whole other path of thinking. Well, there's long stories going on here. I'm not sure how to do this. So, so I have a feeling. So, so Kumiko's doing some outside work uh, of cleaning, and so one of their customers had passed away. So I heard about this customer, and sounded, I don't know, just the story kind of sounded familiar. And then today, for some reason, I remembered, and I was thinking about the name, and I remembered that there was a workshop that I did um, years ago, really years ago. I think it might have been 1996 or something like that. And and it was a music poetry workshop, and I do believe she was one of the participants, but I have to look that up in any case. So that thought came to me today while I was thinking about this idea of what my daughter's telling me about matching images with some of the lyrics from my poetry, and I thought, maybe it'd be interesting to do a kind of workshop where we could do that sort of collectively. You know what I mean? With other people, so I could share some of these images because I mean it's the spectacular in the local, in the simple, right? It's the spectacular in the simple and in the local. That's what we're dealing with, and therein lies the message. You know what I mean? Yes, that's a very long intro, but that's the point. So the idea is that I think you know, we're gonna do a like a poetry workshop in the future, photo poetry workshop, and you can come out. All you need is like a phone or a camera or something. Come out and you know take some pictures of whatever. Walk around and just get inspired. Take some pictures, and then I think I'll give a theme. Like I'm thinking the first theme is probably gonna be like an orchestra or something like that, because that's where that was one of the main inspirations for this current idea is this picture, and I matched it to the words from like an orchestra. You know, this farm is like an orchestra. Anyways, that's where we are this week. So it's that's some kind of good positive feelings going on here, and in spite of whatever is going on in the field, a little bit of drowning. So, okay, thanks. And here we go with a little bit of this feeling. So the other thing that's on my mind about all this things working together thing, which is about orchestra, um, is I looked up and I noticed that a friend is participating in the festival this weekend, that Bhakti Bliss festival. So she's doing some participating in that. And then I noticed that also another friend, Jackie, the storyteller, is also participating, which I thought was cool. Summertime is difficult, of course, for me to get to go to any kind of festival, um, because we got lots of stuff going on here. So the only festival that I end up going to is the Edamame Festival, which is the one that we do here, which is going to be in September. So everything here seems okay regarding that. So let me just look up and see for a second, so I don't forget if there was anything really important that I wanted to say. Okay, that's what it was. Doing your best. Yeah, the idea of doing your best. And the punishment cycle. I've been thinking about that a lot these days for some reason. The punishment cycle of reward and punishment. So, and sometimes there's a thing about doing your best. You know, I've been thinking sometimes people like to blame you a little bit. Say, you didn't do your best, or something, where you blame yourself or you're critical, something or the other, and then you ask yourself, well, did I really do my best? You know, and that's again all related to, you know, criticizing decisions, and sometimes then paralyzed by making decisions, and you know, and then guilt for making decisions. Yeah, it's very strange, but this is reality. Like, some people's life is this all the time, you know. Every decision is spanning, looking around for, okay, what did I do wrong, something or the other, where's the wrong here, or something. And here's the funny part, where I think about the doing the best, right? Especially, okay, this came up as I was outside, and I was surveying the beauty. Next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to line up some pictures so that I can fiddle with it while I'm talking and show you the pictures. Because I was walking around and literally surveying, you know, what I had done this year. You know, I say it's not just but the idea is that the vision or the dreams that I had in my head from many years ago, really, was this idea of grassy walkways in between and long rows of, like, maybe flowers or something, and sort of clean rows. And I always thought to myself, you know, I couldn't imagine how I was going to get to be able to do it, right? So much work, and maybe I didn't have enough equipment, and maybe the land wouldn't have supported it, and something, and maybe it's the wrong way to farm, right? All that stuff. Those thoughts were going through. So I was surveying what is a current reality in front of me, which is the beauty of the things that I have accomplished, right? So I have to accept that and celebrate that, because it is a beauty of things that I have accomplished, that I dreamt about. And so I'm celebrating that. But then the other path of thinking that one can take is, well, you know, and now it's all going to be destroyed potentially by this big rain that's going to come and force everything to rot, and who knows what, catastrophizing, as they say. But the reality is a lot of rain did come, and a lot of it is still sitting in the field, and there is many things that is going to suffer because of that, right? But you can't be looking for somebody to blame for these things, right? And the justification for not laying any blame, you know, you could say is, oh, well, we did our best. But that again is somebody else is judging that, right? or you're judging that in somebody else's eyes. So what I'm trying to get at, is that, so while I was out there surveying, and then came the doubt about whether, I had really done everything that I should have done, and maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that, maybe I should have done that. It erases the fact that while I was doing the thing, I was juggling and navigating, you know, um, has to at some point, has to at some point, um, has to at some point work out. You have to decide, you have to make a decision upon considering all those things. And then once you make the decision, move on. So just the idea of doing best, you know what I mean? It also really is incorporating all the considerations that you have inside your head. Yeah, that was this week's thinking. That was this week's thinking. And again, you could relate it to being like an orchestra. Let me see what's happening here. Okay. Another thing I thought about over the past couple days was the idea of was the idea of um, nothingness being outside of relation, kind of. Yeah, so why was I thinking this? It's again related to I somehow it's related to the idea of not just doing your best, but it's actually the picture. It's the picture of the orchestra, the circles there, the ripples in the water. Because some of them are connected and some of them are kind of off to the side. So then I just sort of started thinking a little bit about you know um, the limits kind of the circle if it's really in a circle. But the point is aside from all that, I was just thinking about the idea of nothingness and relation, right? So it's the relation outside of relation. It's almost like there is nothingness, right? Um, as they say, or as it is said, I am because we are, or I am you. All those things relate to the idea of being being um, due to relation or because of relation, right? It's almost like without relation, then there is nothing, kind of. Identity comes through the formation of boundaries, even if they're wide boundaries. So anyway, so that was a thought. That was a thought uh, that happened this week that I just wanted to mention about that. Um, you know, primarily because when my thoughts were consumed with Africa, okay, um, recapturing the Africa of my ancestral being. Um, there's many things that you think about community and and many things, land and connection to land and so on. There's many things actually, spirituality, whatever that means, and the living energy of all things. Um, then, as I'm thinking about um, the essence of the place where I am now, which is um, um, Anishinaabe Algonquin territory, um, also the you know it's a land of four nations, you could say, a crossing point, a crossroads. But the essence, from what I understand, of kind of the land thinking here is that of relation. Anybody who I've heard speak, um, anybody who I've spoken with, any kind of materials I've come across, almost always touches on the aspect of relation. And so you could say it's a new thing, I guess, in my consciousness that comes through this territory. And so anytime that it comes into my consciousness when I'm thinking about something else, then I just like to acknowledge it in that sense, that it really is, relation is something that's helped me. The concept of the essence of relation is something that's helped me a lot in terms of accepting or come to terms or just grounding myself in this place where I am and I have been for so many years. The idea of relation has helped immensely, I have to say. So I just wanted to share that. And also this idea of the orchestra that we're talking about, I really do want to do a workshop, I think, so I'll have to set a date and figure that out. And a workshop, not that I'm going to come teach you anything, but we're just going to do it together, participate sort of collectively. Look around, take some pictures, and then throw out some words based on a theme. Today's theme is orchestra, like an orchestra, right? Maybe the first photo poetry workshop will be on like an orchestra. We'll do it that way. But it could be anything. You know what I mean? It could be anything. But I think that's what we're going to begin with. So come out, take your camera, take some pictures, and then we'll look at the pictures and throw out some words and we'll create. We'll create. Maybe we'll create together. And we'll see what happens from that. You know? And come on out, relate with this land, and then we'll bring that back out into the world where we're at. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm going to work on that. Let's do that. Okay, here we go. I'm talking so much today, but I think I have about 5 minutes, so... just want to, yes. So let's do this. And then just say, yes. Ask. Okay. Good. Then I can do this. Okay. Excellent.